Hi, good morning, Prakash, and very nice talking to you this morning and this evening for you. And Prakash, I know you have spent long years with the Marriott Group of hotels, and then recently you are leading the operations and general management at overall Trident Group. So it's very interesting for me to have some insights and to see how this current challenges have really put us in different situation altogether. And with your experience, with your knowledge in the hospitality, I would like to get some good insights so that other listeners should get advantage and benefits of it.
It's like the perfect storm created to um, completely wipe out this industry. So while there are some pockets of revival and there are some pockets of business which is coming back and people are in general changing how they operate, um, the truth is that the business is just not coming back. It's, I guess, 2020 is a lost year. 2021 and 22 will probably be uh, something of a survival. And then maybe in 23, 24 onwards, we can talk a little bit about revival and things like that. So,
And this is very true across the globe, Prakash, because it has impacted the economy. Business has really gone down, and I don't see that this year any sort of business revival per se. But how do you see the behavioral change in people? Because that is very important. Once the behavior is changed, then how do you really address, to meet the expectation of people coming in the future?
to be honest, Alak, we see two or three kinds of people. One set of people who are just not traveling because they believe that they will travel after the pandemic as in after the virus vaccine is uh, out. They will travel when it is safe. The second set of people are people who are traveling because they have no choice, because they are smaller businesses, they are smaller entrepreneurs who have to be out there traveling, meeting clients, making sure that they are providing the support and services that is required to keep their business afloat. They cannot afford not to travel, and hence they are traveling. And there is a third set of people who are they just don't care and they are like the high risk category of people who actually get irritated when we implement hygiene practices and things like that. So that's the general feel, when you venture out into the city and you are seeing and interacting with people. Those are the three kinds of people that you generally see. However, in the hotel, what we have done is we have implemented a lot of hygiene practices. We have implemented a lot of safety and sanitation practices. Uh, we have it audited by Bureau Veritas, which is an international audit company. We have implemented changes to our system on a pan-India or a global scale across all our properties, and that is getting reflected in a lot of feedback from guests. And our guests appreciate it. They are actually coming back and saying that Obroy's and Trident has done a very good job in making us feel that we are safe now. Everything has changed, right? A lot of standards, processes, procedures, how we interact with our guests and how we talk to our guests have changed. So in that circumstances, I think we have done a reasonably good job to assure guests that whoever comes into the hotel, we will take good care of them. And I feel that, yeah.
Mhm. This is very excellent point as you're mentioning. So now tell me about, now people are apprehensive to be coming very closer to any front office or back office people or the servers in the hotel. Now, how as an overall and Trident group, you are ensuring that contactless
Yeah.
or touchless so that guests should be very protected in terms of any, infection. So obviously hygiene is one part of it, but
Yeah.
any technology which is helping you, or have you also implemented those areas where contactless check-in, contactless services in the room, or wherever they move around, there is no possibility by which they can, have some kind of vulnerability.
Yeah. So hospitality by its very essence is a very high touch product. And, as a luxury product, we operate in a very, very high touch environment. Having said that, the Oberoi Group has always been pioneers, and in the hotel industry, they have always been ahead of the curve when it comes to implementing highest level of standards. So as this pandemic was breaking out, we went ahead and we did major investment in upgrading our infrastructure to ensure contactless and all those things that we really talk about these days. These were implemented at scale across all our properties. So at the moment, a guest need not even, if they wish, need not even come to the front office or need not even come or have an interaction with the stewards in the hotel. Of course, we would like to do that because we believe in a lot of personalization and things like that. But um, we send out arrival prior to guest arrival. We send out their reg cards. We send out their arrival details. Many changes has happened in the details we collect purely from a regulatory standpoint. We need to know where they are coming from, where they are going to, who they are traveling with, their temperature, whether they have visited certain countries and things like that. So we have moved everything to the cloud, and all those processes are now contactless. The guest can actually fill up all those details, and they don't even need to come to the front desk. They can actually walk, collect a key and walk straight to the room. So that is there. In the restaurants or in F&B service, we have implemented QR code based solutions where the guest can order food. Uh, yeah, so we
Yeah,
have
this
invested
is,
as a,
yeah,
yeah,
interesting. So, Prakash, the Centrique is focused on ensuring safety, high touch, high care, and enables guests with their device on which guests will be able to get all communication coming in. Plus, all services can be rendered through their own personal device. And the entire, as you were mentioning about the check-in, getting onto the room, even if the room keys is not required.
right,
Digital locking. That means if you scan through your phone, the room lock door opens and you
right,
can enter. With your voice interface, lights can be on
right,
or off, air conditioning can be done. So this is the technology which we are bringing to you for
yeah,
ensuring guests should be given the proper service without even interacting and communicating with the personal, whoever is offering that. And they're available to
right,
serve, however, technology is ensuring that they can be completely contacted. Coming back to the technology area to personalize, you touched upon that as well.
yeah.
Now, how are you personalizing and how you're customizing the services so that guests should feel that you are really taking care of that individual?
Yeah. So
And
always believed in the guest first philosophy, and we do spend a lot of time on personalizing guest stay, really understanding what is it that the guest actually wants, and that's something in our ethos and what we call as the dharma. And we make sure that we put our guests first, and that's drilled down to the team members. And there are countless stories across the group and in our hotels where we do certain things which seem like magic, but it's actually a very thought out process. So we personalize a guest stay, we discuss the guest arrival, their feedbacks from their prior stays, and we actually spend time looking at every guest arrival experience and their unique touch points across the hotel and how we can implement it. Of course, it's all high touch. It's all one is to one personalized and things like that. And at this point in time, we are very well aware that there are systems which are coming up in the marketplace, which probably can make this easier and better. Uh, we are excited about AI. We are excited about the blockchain technology and things like that are hitting, which probably will put all these different systems that are there into one piece and give us a package. So yeah, it is exciting times, and we are looking forward to that.
Yeah. No, Prakash, you just touched upon, and I'm so fascinated to say that I have been talking about evangelizing and building this artificial intelligence based system, intelligent process automation based system,
Yeah.
also machine learning based, blockchain based. So, I have been doing this for last 20 plus years. I've done with Oracle. Now I'm doing with Centriqe. And
Yeah.
Centriqe is really trying to address these nuances of it. So how can we automate certain tasks which can help your raising the GOP based on whatever occupancy or ARR you have. At the same time, also knowing your customer better or your guest better. So we are also looking at social profiling of guests. Guest will have 10 different persona. The same individual, if you know by the name and the profile, it will look one persona. But if you dig it apart further, you'll see that that person has got 10 different avatars. And that is where the hospitality is going into. And we are now offering that different nuances to the guest before guest even comes to you. And artificially making you intelligent so that you really offer that. So I am so glad that your group of hotel is taking, or rather open to listening and embracing this newer technology so that you can offer those services to your guests. And across your Sarovar group, you mentioned the Trident group, the Oberoi, and we will be very, very interested to have the conversation with you on that. So you touched upon one area of artificial intelligence. Which are the areas you think where it should create impact now so that other hoteliers should also get some good message from you?
Um, See, where we feel that we could actually um, see AI helping or helping hoteliers in general is increasing their repeat guest percentage. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you are able to identify what is it that a guest really likes about your hotel and provide it to them, then possibly you have a guest for life. And at this point in time, I'll tell you a small example of how we do it. We
Mm-hmm.
rely on manual systems, but at the same time, we are excited about AI and the possibility it has. But to give you a slight example of what we do is we have a guest, regular guest travels on business, CEO of a company travels all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Walked in yesterday to the hotel, and as usual, we have his profile notes, we have everything that he is traveling. We know his business profile, we know he likes his orange juice, he likes his breakfast at 7 in the morning, goes to the gym, etc. etc. We have all these details. And we are waiting for him and expecting his arrival. He walks in with a family, his family with a small kid. We didn't know that. He said, "Oh, I forgot. My secretary would have made a mistake. I should have told that I'm traveling with my family." But the beauty of our system is within 15 minutes, the housekeeper had made a box of crayons with some things in the room. So before even the guest checked in, there were crayons in the room for the kid to draw and paint. So we have developed over the years a system of communication which currently works. And if those are captured in advance, well in advance, if uh, the ticketing system could talk to our system and tell, oh, this gentleman is not traveling alone, he's traveling with three other people. And we are able to better capture that, life would be beautiful, isn't it? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is where
So as you're saying, you're excited about it. Centric is now deploying it. So excitement begins when the guest like me coming from the US, right? And if I have made the reservation through OTA,
Yeah.
any online travel agent, and then I'm coming to you. So you know that I'm coming after 4 days.
Yeah.
Now, one time OTA gives you my details, but after that, you know for life that who is Alak, so that Alak should not be booking through the OTA. That is what we will enable you to save the margin on that. The digital companion which Centriqe has, which will start communicating with me directly from Overall Group, from Trident Group, and from Sarovar Group. And with that, what will happen? Automatically, you are capturing my nuances. You are helping me educate what is available at your premises or your property. How should I seamlessly on my smart device with your digital companion start working so that my life is easy? When I come in there, it's not a surprise because you have already sent me the visuals, the images, the video of the room, the pool side, and I am fully familiar even if I'm first time.
Right.
Now you guess what? From there, you are now personalizing
Yeah.
and then extending the services. So digital companion is generating that value to you. Then constantly, you are also listening because the feedback mechanism is instant.
Right.
You see, the complete customer behavior score, CBS, is patented by Centriqe. Centriqe is coming out with a now nomenclature of customer behavior score. How my behavior changes. Let's say morning I'm different, day I'm different, evening I'm different. After 9 p.m. I am different.
Right.
9 p.m. if I hit your bar, you will see my different persona.
Absolutely.
So that is called the behavioral score. If you capture it instantly, the entire service gamut will change. That is one thing. Now let's talk about profitability. Because at the end of the day, what you care to increase your GOP based on the current situation. How are you addressing it?
So it's tough, and to be honest, it's been tough. 2020. There has been so in India, your biggest component is the labor cost, and we've had to take some action to control that. We've um, made some rationalization around our business volumes and things like that. HLP, which is our next biggest component. So those are things that we are focused on. We are, yeah, it's been a tough year. So I guess there is no um, remedy for lower revenue, and we, I think the answer is cash is the answer, and I don't think that anything we do to control cost will give you that kind of result as generating revenue. So I think now with the worst behind us, our focus should really be on driving revenue rather than now starting to look at how to look at cost. And I believe that that is where our GOP will come through and not through any more additional cost cutting. Yeah.
So, Prakash, going back by your, let's say, guest history, now guest records, obviously now we have two ways to maintain your GOP. One is to grow your revenue with new customers or with existing guests. You may have 100,000 guests who have been coming and staying with you.
Right.
How critical they are, because you need to maximize the guest lifetime value in terms of monetary. How frequently they are coming, how much they have stayed, which are the department of services they have availed. So that is one area which Centriqe is doing very, very intelligently based on AI. The second element is, as I'm saying, a smart cost operation.
Right.
Now, you said that human resources, everybody is very close. We don't want to retrench people, but we want to make them smarter.
Yeah.
We can make them effective, efficient, smarter. Now, system is guiding them to be smarter so that they can do more with less.
Right.
Now, instead of putting, let's say, concierge on the elevator, I don't need them. I can ask them to do some better job. If my front office, 4 people, I can probably say, hey, I don't need four people in the front office, maybe one person good enough. Rest other people they'll allocate somewhere else. That is how you'll maximize. This is called gig economy coming into play, which artificially intelligence system from Centriqe called Profit Edge
Okay.
is very intelligently giving you notion of how efficiently I'm giving you alert. This is what machine learning is.
Yeah.
If I'm giving you a trigger that, hey, there are only 20 people are checking in today, you know for sure only 20 people checking in this afternoon. And what are the cost elements? Why am I spreading the buffet for 50 people? Not needed. Why am I spreading all my people to come to my hotel unless I need it? So I will use them somewhere else. Let them operate efficiently, healthy, and I will, remunerate and compensate accordingly. So that is where I am coming to outcome-based economy.
Right.
People who deliver the service, they will be rewarded. People who are not delivering the service, they'll be utilized somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that is where US has embraced it now. Wherever I'm talking with thought leaders, they are saying this is going to grow very well. So Prakash, this is what I am considering to be talking to all the thought leaders like you. And areas of improvement can be done with the help of technology.
Sure.
What are the message you like to give to most of the other hotel leaders in terms of the technology, embracing technology, effective business operation, looking at people, because those are the assets, right? So what's the message you like to give it to them?
So I am a firm believer that technology is going to be an enabler in the hotel industry. Somehow in the hotel industry, we have always shied away from technology, and because obviously it has been a stable industry for a long time, and we somehow have never been at the forefront of cutting technology. But having said that, there were quite a few innovations which happened in the hotel industry, starting from revenue management to revenue maximization and yield management and things like that. And those today are helping other industries as well. So I think as a community, technology will be an enabler. And slowly but surely, technology will take away. We recently saw images of that hotel by Alibaba, in which everything is AI driven, right? Right from reception to, where was it? It was in CNN, some thing where a person checks in and then entire hotel is staffed with one person and nobody else. So will that happen in the next 5 years or 10 years? I don't know. But is there a possibility that some hotels might move into that structure? Yes, why not? As a structure, people might move. But there will be a lot of use of technology, especially in non-core areas. There is opportunity in finance, in HR, to cluster systems resources to make sure that the systems work. Currently, opportunities like we spend uh, so many man hours doing reference checks. Yes, maybe it's outsourced to people who are doing it, but still it is a hugely labor intensive process. And we are doing reference checks through various people, we are doing police check, we are doing all those things technology can solve. Technology can actually build a database of people who are available and willing and able to work better, faster. So like you rightly mentioned, there will be two set of people. One will be thought leaders who will provide the vision, the direction and things like that. And the second sector will be the gig economy, people who come in on demand, uh, work for a certain period of time to solve a certain task. Now, those gig economy can also be highly skilled people who come in to solve a particular problem. You need a banquet event, you need a specialized Korean chef or a specialized sushi chef. That can become a gig economy. But right now, we are struggling with putting a database together of who is skilled. And yes, in other fields, Uber has done it. Fiverr has done it for gig economy. A lot of people have done it, but there is an area of opportunity in hotels where there is a database, there is a skill-based database. So things are there in terms of profitability. How can we better improve profitability in our mini bars? How can we better improve utilization of our restaurant spaces? Is it worth building a big restaurant in a hotel, or could we utilize it as a banquet hall? How would we, really look at a real estate and say, should I put in 5,000 square feet of storage space, or is it okay for me to rent out a storage space 5 kilometers away? What is the cost analysis? What is the benefit of doing that? Because hotels are in prime lot, right? It is very expensive to put up a hotel. So can we use technology to look at solutions which provide just-in-time technology? Do I really need a store in every hotel? Can technology deliver products to me in time? And I know just-in-time is now taking a beating, and the supply chains due to pandemic has been devastated, and people are now considering holding some buffer and things like that. And that's a totally different uh, problem to have for people who have implemented those. We are currently in the other side of the equation where we have not implemented those, and we still hold 10 days of stock in hand. So the amount of working capital as a group that we block in probably holding small amount of store items in our hotels.
Excellent. So, Prakash, I know many areas we can talk and deliberate, but what I can summarize, high tech will enable high touch for the guests.
Absolutely.
Let's embrace the high tech technology coming in front of us. Artificial intelligence is the mantra coming forward. Machine learning is automating a lot of mundane tasks. Process automation is going to help you reduce those manual cumbersome processes and making you efficient, smarter. Thank you very much for talking to you, Prakash. And I will definitely, other listeners will enjoy and viewers will love it. So thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, Alok. Thanks a lot for having me on the show.
Always.